sometimes too.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, what's up? I'm Harry. I play guitar in Stential, and I have 2 kids. They're great. I love them so much.
What do you think is the most dad thing about you, and what do you think is the most like rock and roll thing about you?
The most dad thing, if my son was here, I have a pet peeve about chores and like cutting the grass, taking the trash out, keeping the room clean, stuff like that. I mean, it was just drilled into me when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So try to pass that junk on down.
Yeah, that's definitely not a rock and roller thing.
No, definitely not.
And what's the most rock and roll thing about you?
I mean, I've taken my son to a bunch of shows. We have seen Guar together, Necrogoblicon. We just saw Ice Nine Kills back in, I think it was July or something.
Oh, wow.
A few months ago in Jersey. So, like, we go to a lot of shows together. So, it's pretty cool.
And how old is your son?
He just turned 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do you have 2 kids, you said?
Yeah.
Right?
Also, my daughter,
Okay.
Aurora. So, I have Brody, who's my son, and then Aurora, who's my daughter, and she'll be 4 in November.
Oh, wow, so you have one old one and then one younger
Yes.
one.
Yep, best of both worlds.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
worst of both worlds, depending how you want to look at it.
For sure. What is like a meal that everyone can be okay with at home? And what is a meal like when you guys are on tour that everyone can be okay with?
Like a home meal? I don't know. My son is super picky. If it had to come down to like both, something that's going to satisfy both the kids and us, I feel like pizza, chicken nuggets. My son says I make burgers all the time, so he does not like burgers. But I mean, he's out of the house now at college eating fucking ramen, so I bet you he wishes he had a burger right about now. Like when we're out, like with the guys,
Yeah.
I don't know. We like to eat because like a majority of us don't drink or anything, so like we're foodies. So we definitely like to try whatever's local. Like when we were down in Baltimore, we had to get some crab cakes and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, yeah, pretty much whatever we want, really.
Okay, and you said you don't drink. You're sober.
Yeah, I'm clean. I don't do anything.
Okay, how many years? Or are you just straight edge?
I'm not straight edge because I do use nicotine.
Okay.
I use nicotine pouches. I did quit vaping and smoking for like a couple years ago, and then I picked the pouches back up for whatever reason.
It's the hardest thing I've ever tried to quit.
Yeah,
It's like
100%.
cigarettes. Like I would, every time I smoke, I'm like, it'll be different this time, and I'm just gonna smoke when I'm drinking. Then I'm buying a 6-pack every night.
Yeah.
And then once I'm back on a pack of cigarettes a day, the 6-pack disappears, and I'm just like, oh man, it got me again.
Yeah. Smoking is tough.
Yeah. Have you had any trouble with other addictions?
I mean, everything. I did a ton of drugs, drank. I mean, it comes with the territory, kind of when you're in the music scene, because like you're either straight edge in the hardcore scene or you're partying your ass off. So like, I was on the other side of that, and like, it was fun for a really long time. Then my friends started dying, and then my life started getting unmanageable, and then like it sucked, and I wanted to change. So like, I had to go through a ton of shit before I was finally willing to stop. But I got clean April 1st, 2019.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and
so
do you struggle with that in like a band and having a family? Like that's like a lot of pressure on both ends.
not really anymore. Like maybe the first year or so was kind of tough because like COVID had just hit. So like the first couple of years were definitely tough. But like the longer I've been clean, the easier it's gotten. And keeping up with my mental health too, like seeing a doctor like about that definitely helps also. And just having like a super big support network, talking to other people that are going through the same stuff that I'm going through, and not being afraid to share honestly what's happening in my life. Because if I'm not sharing what's going on with me, nobody's going to be able to help me. So I'm pretty open and honest with what's going on.
Yeah, no, I get that. My brother, when I was going through a lot of my troubles, my brother said, if you can't tell me what's going on, clearly something's wrong, and you shouldn't. Like if you're hiding it from me, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
if
100%.
you're okay, if you're good with what you're doing, then you have no problem telling me.
Yeah.
And that's something I've been trying to carry on with my kids. Is there any lessons that you're trying to, with honesty, you're trying to pass along with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, my son, I'm pretty open with my son about my life. Yeah, like honesty is huge. Commitment is like one of my biggest things. Like if you say you're going to do something, follow through with it. If you say you're going to be somewhere, be there. Like, because like all we have at the end of the day is our word. It doesn't matter how much money we have, what kind of car we got. Like, the only thing we can stand on is what we're doing and what we're saying. So like, commitment is like huge for me.
No, absolutely. And for someone who, sorry, car alarm. For someone who's like struggled with addiction, and I lost my train of thought about commitment. I had a direction I wanted to go. Mental health. Do you feel that like upholding your mental health has to do with upholding your commitments?
I feel like it's definitely a commitment that I've made to myself, because like I kind of let it fall to the side for a while, because I was like, oh, you know, I got clean, I've done a ton of work on myself, you know, maybe I don't need to see a psych doctor or take any medication. And then around like November of last year, because like I got a great life, I really have everything I want, I'm happy, you know, financially stable, but like, you know, I was starting to lose interest in stuff that I was doing, and like I was getting really frustrated and anxious at the drop of a hat. And like once I saw a doctor and, you know, talked a little bit, they prescribed me some anti-anxiety medicine, non-narcotic, and it's like just done wonders for me. So like just all these different little things I got to do in order to maintain, like, you know, my mental and spiritual condition. So, and it like continues to evolve, because like the more things I start to juggle in life, the more like overstimulated you start to get, the more stressed out you start to get. It's easier to lose your patience. So like if one of those things aren't in balance, like if I'm not getting enough sleep, I'm not talking to people, I'm hungry or something, like I'm going to be pissed off and want to throw a toddler across the room. You know?
Yeah. No, definitely. Like for me, it's usually like lack of sleep that like fires me up, and because I work nights and then I get up in the morning with the kids and get them ready for school, and you know, when I start getting sleep deprived, my mental health crashes, and then that's also why sometimes like I can't commit to going to like a show for someone because I want to do an interview. But if I'm not sleeping, I'm not taking care of myself, I'm no good, and I'm all scattered, and I'm trying to like just home in and focus.
Yeah, 100%. Like lack of sleep makes me neurotic. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
And what advice do you have for any parents that are in bands that are trying to get sober? Like, what are some of the tools you use to stay sober and continue to do your passions?
I mean, balance. And like in the beginning, like building a really strong foundation, a really strong network, and making sure I'm confident and comfortable enough to go out into an environment where, you know, people are more than likely going to be drinking or drugging. And like also, like if my ass is on fire and I feel like, you know, I might want to drink or something, because I got like almost 7 years clean doesn't mean a beer doesn't look nice every once in a while. On the nights a beer may seem nice, I'm not going to go out to the fucking bar and catch a band. Okay. You know, so like I just, you know, try to be as aware as possible, be honest with myself, and then like if I'm not in a good headspace, I'm not going to go and entertain the thoughts. Okay,
because it really seems like you're homing in with a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
Do you try and pass that on to your kids?
100%. Yeah, like everything that I've learned over the last several years, I try to, you know, pass on to them, because like it's all like it's not even want to say it's knowledge. It's just like experience and like basic morals and principles that, you know, to be a good human being, like these are the things we got to do. Be honest, be compassionate, you know, hold your word, stick to your commitments, and like, you know, just try to help the next person. I feel like, you know, if everybody can just do those few things, the world will definitely turn out to be a better place.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's where the future is at. Like, and I find a lot of rock and rollers, punk rockers, we're really all focused on that idea of like really helping the next generation be more compassionate and you know, more caring.
Yeah, 100%. There was a while there too, like I feel like I overcompensated for a while, like because I don't want to say like I was an absent father, because I wasn't. Like I was there a lot, but not as much as I would have liked to be. And, you know, I definitely wasn't doing the right thing, that's for sure. So, like, when I finally did get clean and, you know, was able to do great things with my son, like, I remember, like, the first or second year I got clean, we went to Alaska together. We got to see the Northern Lights. It was just, like, the most mind-blowing experience. And, like, I remember, like, at the end of the trip, we're sitting in the airport waiting to go home, tired as fuck. And he just looks over and he leans over at me and he gives me a hug and he goes, "Thank you, Dad. I love you." And like, you know, it's those little things that like just really, you know, I keep with me and remember forever. Like,
Yeah, no, definitely. And you can't change the past. All you can do is move forward. So, like, if you focus on the things, your failures, then you're going to feel like a failure, I find.
yeah, 100%.
You know, so, like, you know, it's great that you're moving forward and you're already doing some beautiful things like that with your son.
Yeah.
Do you feel like almost with your daughter being such an age discrepancy, do you feel like almost like you have a second chance now to, like...
Kinda. I definitely feel like, you know, I've made things whole again and right with my son, and you know, I'm a great father. I do everything I can. Like everything I've done up to this point in my life is to make sure that, you know, my son has had a successful life. Like I made sure I bought a house back in the school district where he wanted to finish school. To finish school, I was able to send him to college. Like, you know, doing things I never thought I'd be able to do. And like I just want to be there and like be a full-time father. And now like with my daughter, like yeah, it's nice to be like 100% present from like day one for sure. Because like there's definitely, you know, some stuff I missed. And the biggest difference, so like when I had my son Brody, I was really young. I was like 18. So like we were young, so our parents were like all there to help and take care. Like, you know, his mom's parents, my mom's parents. Now, with my current wife, Julia, like our parents live pretty far away and are older, so it's like just been me and her and my son taking care of this baby. So like, you know, when it's just you and one other person taking care of a kid, like man, it is not easy. Like I will be honest, like that first year, like not sleeping, the late nights, like those are, I can count on one hand how many times me and my wife have had like, you know, bad arguments, and they happened within that first year of my daughter being born.
Yeah, no, the first year when my first was born, my wife had to go right back to work like 2 weeks later because she didn't have any time.
Yeah.
And like that, so for that, because of that, I tried to take on all the like getting up and all that feedings and all that stuff. And I actually ended up having a mini meltdown and like ended up in therapy again because of the lack of sleep and just like overpressure and you know, some of those things are what led up to this podcast. You know what I mean? Like trying to help out another parent that's creative. Like, hey man, like don't like slow down. It'll be okay. Do you now looking back on that time, because it always feels like that 1 year, 2 years is like forever. Like, does it now? Do you look at it like, do you think it was like as long as you thought it was, or you wish like some of that time was back almost?
I'm happy it went by quick. I'm not gonna lie. And my daughter, like, she still doesn't sleep in her bed. Like, she's still like, we'll put her in her bed and like she'll still sneak in the middle of the night. She's always between us. So like, yeah, she does not like to sleep. It sucks. Like, it definitely sucks.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've been talking about it because, like, we're moving in the middle of selling and buying another house. And we're like, should we have another kid? And some days we're like, yeah, this is great. And then other days when my 3-year-old daughter is giving me the attitude of a 16-year-old, I'm like, all right, you know, maybe let's not have another one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's a bad. It's just you're back to square one again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to do it, I would suggest doing it, my personal opinion, doing it now once you get into the new house and not waiting too long, because once they're really out of diapers and then you have to restart that again, you're like, oh.
Yeah, because everything is just so expensive. Like, especially with daycare. Like, daycare is like a mortgage payment. Like, it's so expensive just to be able to have kids in America. Like, I don't understand how people are able to have like 3 or 4 kids. I mean, if you have family around that can like help you watch your kids, like take advantage of that, because like now with me and my wife, like nobody really lives nearby, so it's just like me and her, and we got to pay for daycare, and it's really expensive.
Okay, with that being said, like you're talking about how you and your wife are kind of on your own, and you're just getting ready to kick off like a little East Coast tour.
Yeah.
How did you manage that? What were the conversations you were having with your wife to make this okay?
Well, so I mean, she's not happy about it. So we planned the East Coast run before we decided to sell the house and buy another one. So this show she didn't care so much about, but we had one Thursday night, like, and that's the day the house listed. And she was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, now I'm here with a toddler and a dog, and you're going out to play with your friends. And like, I felt like such a piece of shit. And it's like, no matter what you say, like, yo, I just got to allow her to be mad. Like, she's got every right to be mad.
Like, 100%.
You know, and like, just learning to accept that and not push back and like argue, like is growth, and like part of like being a partner and being a husband and just a partner, like, because we really don't argue that much. It's crazy because like I've been in so many relationships, like toxic relationships, and like this is the first one I can honestly say like we're going on like 7 years together.
Okay.
And like we really, like, from the outside looking in, it's probably disgusting how happy we are together. Like, it's truly amazing. It really is.
Yeah. No, I understand exactly what you're saying, because I have that sometimes with my wife where she'll express she's unpleasant about what I'm doing because it's inconvenient. It might not be articulated that way, but I'm growing to know that that's what she means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you said, don't push back, because she's not really that mad at me about me podcasting or whatever it may be. She's actually very supportive in a lot of ways. So is there any regrets that you have from how you grew up, and are you trying to change that with your children?
I mean, not so much, because like I feel like if things didn't happen the way they did growing up, like I wouldn't be the person who I am now. Like with all the experience that I've gained, all the shit that I've gone through has really like made me the person that I am today. Like, you know, going from having nothing and wanting to die to like just having this drive and passion for life and wanting to change. Like I wouldn't want to go back from that. Like I just have this tenacity to live and do better and be better and just be the best person that I can be for like my family, and just constantly grinding, working harder, doing what I can to just continue, you know, growing and, you know, growing my family and just giving them the best life that I have. And like I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't go through that, all the shit that I've gone through.
Yeah, no, like what you were just saying, like sometimes just taking care of yourself and being a good leader. I'm not saying that you run the house, but like being a role model to your children. Sometimes that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And I've been working on that myself. So ultimately, just end it with, are you happy?
I am now. I really am. And like, you know, at the end of the day, like I look at it like this, like it really didn't have to be this way for me. Like, you know, I remember living at my mom's house, like with absolutely nothing. Like I didn't even have a door on my bedroom by the end of the road. And to be able to go from like nothing to the life I have now is like truly incredible. So like anybody out there, like if you're out there struggling and you think you can't stop and change your life, it's a lie. Because like you absolutely can. And like I know I talk like all this like great amazing stuff has happened to me, and it really has, don't get me wrong, but like back in the beginning of 2021, I had to have open heart surgery to have my tricuspid valve replaced. And like it was hands down like the most painful thing. Like I didn't even think the human body could experience pain like that. It felt like I was torn in half. And like when I got home from the hospital, me and my wife were just still dating at the time, and she was like taking care of me, and like that's when I realized like, wow, this girl really cares about me. You know, I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And I think I was like 2 weeks out of open heart surgery, broken chest, and like got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. And then like a week later, we were trying to have a kid. Even though the doctor told me like, you know, none of that for a few weeks. I wasted no time. Like my fighter, like, you know, my survival instincts kicked in. I was like, oh my God, I just almost died. Like, let's lock this thing up. And like, yeah, I don't know how I got on that topic.
No, well, I don't know. I think sometimes you just got to get clubbed in the head to realize what you have.
Yeah.
And I think that open heart surgery might have been that mallet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm happy you're doing good. You guys were awesome live, and I appreciate you taking the time after your energetic show to hang out and talk to me.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
I'm